Okay, today is July 29th, 2018, and right now at 3 p.m. we have a temperature of 96 degrees here in the foothills of Los Angeles. The relative humidity is 30%. The dew point is 60 degrees. Feels muggy out there. And the barometric pressure is up at 30.03 inches. All right, so right now we're looking at the northeast Pacific water vapor loop. We see that this swirling area of high pressure is still installed over the southwest and northern Mexico. This has been here for about a week, spinning clockwise and preventing most of the weather out here from moving in. We can see that some weather is moving north, right up towards California. Right here we have a lot of moisture right offshore. Let's go ahead and look at the close-up map here of the this is the western U.S. infrared map. We can see a lot of moisture offshore. We have an opportunity for rain here, and also moving in on this monsoonal flow, this clockwise. This is an installed area of high pressure. This has been here for a while. All this moisture is wrapping around, but none of it is getting into California and generating any sort of saturating rain. Offshore, we see a lot of moisture, but nothing is moving in. We take a close-up look here on the southwest infrared map. We can see that this area earlier today was superheated, and we're seeing the very tail end of that sequence. All this moisture is just evaporating. And here we have a new cell popping up right there, and this has a right angle forming right on the, there's a corner imprint on that. All right, so we do see some pockets of moisture moving in, and there is some scattered precipitation showing up on the IntelliCast Doppler map, which is right here. We can see the Southern California area near Hemet, where there is a fire. An arsonist, I believe it was, started a fire out there, and today we have some rain. Also out here near just west of the Salton Sea, near the Anza Borrego area, we have some rain falling in the mountains. And also out near Big Bear, we see that there is some rain. If we zoom in, we might be able to get a better look at that. Big Bear City. And then we have some rain out here in the desert area. We can see that. But nothing over the greater Los Angeles area and Orange County areas, or Ventura County out over here, which is right up in this area, Ventura County. All right, so the people controlling our weather are doing a pretty good job of stopping all of the rain. The last few days we should have had a good amount of rain. Here we see some evidence of the WSR-88D basically evaporating what's offshore. You can see those patterns there. This is that looks like it's from the San Diego or rather the Escondido transmitter. You just lay a straight edge right there. That points basically right to the area. There's a WSR-88D right near Escondido. You can find that by looking up WSR-88D on Wikipedia, and you'll find a coordinate map, a map of coordinates, a list of coordinates for these transmitters all around the country. You can look them up on Google Earth. And these are the ground-based microwave transmitters that are responsible for not only advising the National Weather Service and the NOAA of severe weather, but they also work dual function and utilize high-power microwave transmitters working in the 2.4 gigahertz range, which is exactly the same frequency that the common microwave oven utilizes to heat water and food. All right, so now over Arizona, we see a lot of rain in various areas. We have Flagstaff with some rain, and down here near the southern border area, we see some rain. But getting back to the southwest map, here the infrared map, we would expect to see a lot more rain than what we're getting. keep an eye on this cell right here. It's moving right up into Imperial County, it looks like. In San Diego County, you have the Salton Sea right there, which is actually getting very low. There's been so much evaporation in the Salton Sea that people are now meeting to discuss that problem. The Salton Sea used to be a recreational area back in the 50s. People used to water ski. There'd be, I think, the Beach Boys, that band that played. There was a lot of popular musical acts that played at the Salton Sea back in the 50s. And now it's become a over-salinated quagmire. And the solution, the near-term solution for the Salton Sea is to aerate the water. It's so oxygen starved. That's why the fish are dying off, and also because of the salinity is actually higher than the oceans. So by aerating the water using fountains or by laying some underwater hoses with holes that bubble up, that would be a natural, inexpensive way using pressure. You have a generator, or rather a pump, a generator-powered pump, an engine powering a pump that would pump compressed air down into those hoses, and that would aerate the water and quickly change the pH and also kill off all that algae. All right, so that's a near-term solution that would work. Those generators could be powered by solar panels, because the sun out there is, you have sunlight almost all year round out there. And of course the salinity, that's a different problem, but that could also be solved using some other techniques where you run that water over screens, much like you would see screen doors, and the salt brine sticks to the screens, and you can actually desalinate water that way. That's a fairly cheap way to do it. And of course, there's other ways. You could build a desalination plant there and revitalize that area. That is and of course, there's a terrible odor out there, and that's why there's really nobody living out there. There are some people living there, but not by their choice. Okay, it's a shame that place has gone to waste. It used to be a recreational campground and a tourist. A lot of people would visit there. Okay, enough of that. Here's our rain opportunities going up in smoke. Same thing out here. We can see this area was superheated. We have some activity right here, which has pushed this moisture away. You see a lot of evaporation occurring right in this area. So we did see some chemtrail activity today in Southern California. Getting back to this bigger map, we see a huge disturbance just to the west of the Hawaiian Islands, but this is not marked on the Central Pacific hurricane map. If you look at the map right here, we've got the islands. We have Gilma, which is now a post-tropical cyclone. This has been kind of on and off the last few days. Here we have a new disturbance with a 0% chance, but nothing over here on the west side where we were just looking at that huge developing. This to me looks like a very large area of thunderstorms just immediately to the west of the Hawaiian Islands. But that's not marked. And they're showing, this is Gilma right down here. And then there's another area here marked on the map just to the south east. None of that makes any sense to me because we've got something much larger over here, which is not marked. This is in the Central Pacific zone right here. Go back to the map. You see that this zone here is all Central Pacific, all the way out past 175 east. We've got 175 west, and then 180, 175 east. But yet nothing is marked there. Grid on here, we can see that there's It's 170 right there. This line here is 170. Okay, so rain opportunities are being squashed right out here on the west. Out on the east coast, we take a look. We have a lot of rain, a lot of thunderstorm activity down here in the southeast. Let's just go take a look at the Doppler map here, and you can see that the east coast is getting much more rain than the west coast. Also, right here near Missouri, down here in New Orleans, and down in Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas. A lot of rain. Okay, that's just the short update. We have terrorists in control of our weather. These satellite maps, I believe, are true and correct. Somebody made a comment on the last video saying that these maps might be fake. I don't think so. I think that the news on television is fake because these maps are not being shown. That would be something to investigate. Why aren't the television mainstream media networks showing these maps? Also, take a look here. We have a disturbance down here, which is not marked. This is being blown apart right there. Look at that blast pattern. So this area right here is being superheated. You can see that blast pattern. This will soon be nothing. And that's what will happen over here as well. So the mainstream media is fake news. They've proven that, and we're seeing that every night on the weather reports. We get cartoon animated weather, computer-generated graphics. These are not computer-generated. These are actual satellite maps. We have the water vapor map, and we have the IR map. I don't have the visible map up, but this is the data that comes right off the satellite, and this is the data that the mainstream media is not showing the public. So that person that posted, a comment suggesting that these maps are fake, I don't agree with that, because if these were fake, then the weather reports would be televised weather would be stating that, and that would then bolster their global warming argument. I think this whole thing is the other way around. These maps disprove the global warming argument and prove that we actually have climate control and weather manipulation. And because of that, the mainstream media does not show these maps. We've had multiple opportunities for rain here in California for months on end, and we don't get rain. We've got fires up in Northern California near Redding and Shasta County. We've got fires all over the western part of the U.S. Down here in Hemet, we had a fire the last few days, Idlewild, and that burned up a few homes. And yet these terrorists are stopping the chances of rain right here. We've got this swirling area of high pressure. This has been parked here for about a week. And all this monsoonal moisture sweeps in. We should be getting rain. And that's all being stopped. So that should be the #1 discussion on television, and it's not. Everybody's ignoring it. So we've got a media that has proven itself to be the enemy of the American people. These people are an enemy right here. CBS, ABC, NBC, Fox, and Universal, Disney, New York Times, Washington Post, all of these major newspapers, the LA Times, of course, San Francisco Examiner, you name it. They're all covering up these horrendous acts of weather manipulation and weather terrorism. And so we're not surprised to learn that the FBI is full of corrupt people that are basically covering for the Democratic misdeeds, the spying operation that was going on. And of course, these people promote the global warming / climate change narrative, which is false. And that has to be exposed. And of course, we're not going to get that exposure on these networks, ABC and CBS and all the rest of them. Okay, that's it. We'll do another update soon.